some of you are thinking to yourself, but he probably doesn't prospect that much. But I want you to think about this. Never compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 10. Remember that. Never compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 10, because every winner was once a beginner. You probably, like, how long have you been in real estate? 35? Okay. What you don't see is, when she, by the way, I've got to tell you, you've been in real estate 35 years, you look fucking hot. I've got to tell you. I've got to tell you, you're in this 35 years. That's fantastic. That's great. Sorry, by the way, I'm not, please, I shouldn't say it because it comes across, my intent is never sleaze. My intent is compliment, trust me, right? But by the way, what I'm getting at is, she does well. But what people don't see is the pain that successful people went in their first decade. They used to get home late. They'd have a shit day. And then they would do it again. And then they would do it again. And they did it for years and years and years. And then they get up on stage and they get an award. What people haven't seen is the insomnia. What people haven't seen is the late night. What people haven't seen is the stress. I'm telling you, it is going to be hard, but it is going to be worth it. I'd like you to write out your listings on a Monday every week. I'd like you to write out your top 25 buyers every week, and I'd like you to write out the top listings you're chasing every week. Why? When you write it out, it forces you to think about what you can do to get business out of those 3 things that week. It's a very useful thing. Why? The main thing is to make the main thing the main thing. And for me, the main thing is current vendors, potential vendors, top 25 buyers. But people that just made it too fancy. I hate fancy because fancy gets broken all the time. I don't like fancy. You know what I think would be a useful thing to do? Have everyone on your vendors with different dial tones than the rest of the callers. So when a vendor calls, it's a different dial tone, and you know. You know what I'd love for you to do? Under the letter X, put all the top 10 listings you're chasing, put them in under the letter X. Why? You can be sitting at home, press the X, they all come up, you can ring them up. Every minute you don't call a vendor is another minute you're giving your position to get closer to them. I'd love you also, by the way, you know what I'd love you to also? You know when you have your vendor conversations, have them on the phone, but have the report in front of them. Say, do you mind reading the letter I've sent you? Why? Because when you're talking to them and they've got the report, it hits harder. Don't assume that you sending them an email, they're going to read it. Say, listen, I want to go over the report I've sent you about the activity this week. A simple spreadsheet like this is extremely useful in helping you follow up your stock. And what you're looking at there is hot sellers, 30 to 60 days, 2 to 6 months, a year when the time is right. Again, take a photo of that. These are short, sharp scripts that are going to help you. You know when I was saying earlier on, is this a good time to call? These are, the wrong way is on the left, the right way is on the right. These are short, sharp dialogues that can help you improve your phone manner dramatically. Take a photo. Okay, now, I've got a project for you because I believe this course will work when you work. Here is the only project I'd love you to do as a result of this course. Next 2 slides. The top 10 influencers in your life, you write them out. Your top 10 past clients, you write them out. Your top 10 potential vendors, you write them out. Your top 10 expired listings or withdrawals, write them out. And your top 10 buyers. There's 50 people that tomorrow you can get on the phone and start speaking to straight away. These people matter the most. Let me move on. Social media, we've got 5 minutes before we leave. I'm going to give you 5 or 6 great things that you can do on social media. What's your first name?
Mark.
Mark, are you on Facebook? How many friends you got on Facebook?
I think I've over 1,000.
1,000. I want you to picture this. I sell Mark's house. Mark is happy with me. He gets top dollar. We sell it at auction. As soon as the property's sold, all I do is I get my camera out and I say, Mark, do you mind giving me a 5-second testimonial on what you thought? Yep?
Sure.
Okay, Mark, what did you think of Harcourt's Holmwood and me?
These guys were outstanding. They worked so hard and just got the best result. I loved it.
You get that on video. What do? Another one sold, happy vendor. If we had more, we'd sell more. You share that with Mark. Mark sends it to his friends. All he does is press the share button. 1,000 people have just heard him say, Tom is a top agent at Harcourt's Holmwood. That's how you win business in 2018. It's called consumerism. It's not what you say to the market. It's what the market says to the market. It is an untapped potential at the moment, I'm telling you. Everyone's running around, still doing traditional methods. I mean, don't get me wrong, letterbox dropping, yes, it works. But you can spend 10,000 drops out there and you know your response rate. I'm telling you, the consumer of 2018 is socially media savvy. And they're time poor. And the best videographer, the best camera in the world is your mobile phone, because it's the only one that you can take a shot, video, and distribute with one click straight onto social media. You can't do that with a videographer. So I'm urging you right now to get super smart and understand where the eyeballs are. 85% of digital revenue is spent between Google and Facebook. Forget Google, you can't play that game now, it's too hard. Yes, you can tamper it with, campaign tracks what their campaign's going, but I'm telling you, Facebook is bargain buying. The next thing I'm going to say that I think so vendor testimonials are super critical. Live stream auctions are extremely useful. Monthly wraps are very good, but interviewing the school principal, interviewing the local business person, and then doing a bit of a market wrap, you know, that can spread like wildfire. Imagine the school puts it on their Facebook page and they're promoting you. And all you did is, today, we're here with our local principal, tell us, what are you most passionate about the values of this school? And then you go off camera and say, by the way, in Holmwood, there was a total of 47 transactions last month. Highest was that, lowest was this. We'll touch base again in 3 months' time and give you a market wrap on what's going on and meet one of our local influencers. Influencer marketing is very powerful. That's my equipment, by the way. A lot of people turn around and think that I've got a TV company going around. Now I've got to tell you, it's $200 worth of equipment there. That's my stuff. Everything's from an Apple shop. Get yourselves a couple of things. Probably the most important thing I'd recommend is sound. Is like this mic here is a Rode mic, $50. Sound is very important in video. Gang, take a photo of that. That's a 12-month marketing plan. Set and forget. 12-month marketing plan. I personally believe that you need a set and forget marketing plan to create lead generation for your office. Super critical. Anyone that's in my real estate gym knows that I'm just super obsessed with things like marketing calendars. I'm super obsessed. There's a few things that I'm super obsessed with. One of them is marketing calendars, like having a lead generation machine working for you. Another thing that I'm obsessed about is having an effective business unit where people have got clear ideas of what they're doing. So as someone that has had up to 1,000 staff working for me when I worked for Rupert Murdoch, I'm super obsessed in having position descriptions for people, because PAs do not have mental telepathy, right? And I'm gonna, like right now, some of you are level 1, which is an agent on your own, no PA, because you are the PA. Level 2, you've got a red PA, which is an admin-based PA. Level 3, red PA and a blue PA, which is blue PA is more salesy, and then you start moving to buyers agents. You're probably, I would have your unit would look something along level 4. You've got an admin-based person, you've got someone that's a buyer's agent PA and so on to help. And this is what you need. Like if you're going to write like 1.5 million GCI, you've got to go to level 4, right? Never look at a PA as being an expense. It's an investment in the profits. By the way, that's what a red PA does. They're the things. And this is what a blue PA does. I've got some bad news for everyone. I'm giving you the whole fucking presentation. But I just know that you'll stay focused, right? Here is a 3-page position description. 3 pages. 1, 2, 3. 3-page position description for PAs. I'm obsessed with working with PAs. By the way, tonight I officially will close the real estate gym till ARIC. We'll close it. I'll open it again at ARIC. Anyone that isn't a member, that wants to be a member, let me just tell you, it's $65 a month, and you just basically get me as your coach. You're getting stuff, you get my prospector, that system, you get me as your coach. I'm not going to sit there and do a hard sell, but I'm just going to say it's 2 to 3 copies a week, and you get every scripted dialogue. And what I'll do is, as a gift, I've got 8 DVDs in my bag, because I know what the luggage weight I can carry. What I'll do is, anyone that joins here today, they'll give me the form and I'll give them one of those free DVDs. They're worth $500, so you're basically getting a gym membership for free. I'll be here at the end. If you don't want to join, that's good. We stay in contact on social media. But as I come to an end, may I just give you 3 more things that I think will help you. If you're totally disorganized all over the shop, you need to use this daily design system. It just gives you structure. Calls dialed, calls reached, most important tasks. This is really good at getting expired listings call you up. Success rate of 50% response rate. It is a killer handwritten note for expired listings. Now, you can only do this, send it out to people that you believe have expired, and if you've got a buyer for the property. But it will get you into the door. And the last thing that's hot at the moment is what I call the 3-minute SMS. Do you realize that you can create a market appraisal for people in 3 minutes through CoreLogic? All they do is that they text your number, and what you do is through CoreLogic RP data, create a report which takes 1 or 2 minutes and send it out. It's a lead generation tool. I've got a client of mine, and that costs no money to do. As long, everyone here is a CoreLogic RP data? Yep. Yep. Okay, gang, there's a good script of dialogue. You don't walk into Harvey Norman and start negotiating on a TV unless you actually intend to buy that TV. If you're comfortable enough with us and trust us for this job, then we can discuss our commission at that point. Good dialogue. I'm going to finish on that slide. Anyone that's been to a chemo ward will know that that's what it looks like. And I've spent numerous years of my life sitting in that green chair. I made a decision early on that I was never going to participate in the problem. I always participate in the solution. That's a useful thing. Never participate in the problem. And I'll never forget my first day at chemotherapy. I'm sitting in this chair and a guy comes and sits over here. And we get talking. And for 15 minutes we talked about sport, we talked about cars, we talked about politics. And then he said to me, Tom, do you want me to leave? I said, no. He goes, why did you turn your back? I just said, mate, like, you told me that you're not having chemo, Because this guy wasn't sick. He was just a person that was dropping in, saying hello to people. And I looked at him and I said, it's been good chatting, but I want you to understand, 48 hours ago, I had the perfect life. I just didn't realise it. I have no cancer in my family, and I got diagnosed on Friday at 2 p.m, and I've been told that the only thing that's going to save me is a clinical trial. I've never met you. You're a nice person. You're obviously a volunteer of some description, and I appreciate you sitting next to me. But I've got to say to you, I just need privacy. And I turned around. He got up. He put his hand on my arm. He says, I'm going to leave, Tom. I'm sorry if I've upset you. I didn't want to upset you. But he said, Tom, I want you to understand. Please remember, the future is going to be better than the present. And you've got the power to make it so. God bless you, Tom. And he walked away. I've got to tell you guys and girls, there's not a day that I don't think about what he said. The future is going to be better than the present, and you've got the power to make it so. You're fortunate. You work for one of the greatest real estate companies on the planet. You're fortunate. You live in a world where you don't have planes flying over the top throwing bombs. And whilst you've had your hiccups, such as natural disasters like earthquakes, I've got to say, when you truly look around and look at life, it's pretty awesome. So, my final words to the team here today from Holmwood is this. What that guy said to me, which is the future is going to be better than the present and you've got the power to make it so, they're my final words to you. I want to let you know, never, ever, ever let your personal history get in the way of your destiny. Never forget, the past does not equal the future. And take it from someone that has been punched in the face numerous times. I'm telling you straight, the comeback is always bigger than the setback. So what do? You leave here today super clear, knowing that you're not going to let something difficult get in the way of something that might be magnificent in your life. I want to remind you, all the good shit happens outside of your comfort zone, and everything is hard before it's easy. I beg you from the bottom of my heart, I just hope that this conference is different to other conferences. I hope that you're prepared to go through some shit for 20, 30 days, because it's hard, then it becomes weird, then it becomes normal. And then you look back and you say to yourself, fuck, it was worth it. Never let your personal history get in the way of your destiny. Who you are is not who you can be. Thank you so much.
I'm overwhelmed, aren't you? Just overwhelmed. There is so much of a message in here. There are so many things, and I'm not going to try and reiterate any of them, except to say it still lies with you. What you do from this day, what you do from this session, is over to you. Up here, are you going to lift your eyes? You're going to spend them looking down. Tom, thank you so much for bringing this to us. It has been a privilege to listen to you. It has been an inspiration. It has been something that I will carry dear to my heart for a long time. Thank you for helping us look back.
I've got to say to you, this is, to me, it's a little bit emotional as well today. And this is my This is my last. I've made a decision that this was booked in some months ago. I've made a decision not to do any travelling post head home, and I'm going to spend the next 4 or 5 weeks with my 41-year-old brother, or whatever those weeks are. I'll remember this day because I'll think to myself, this was the day that I decided to press the pause button. If you haven't done it already, a brother, a sister, a son, a mum or dad, just in case you forgot, give them a big hug. Because if they're alive now, you'll regret it when they're not.
For the Monday, make sure you sign the register, please, everybody. Thank you very, very much for your